Katmandu. Uncle Bing is the favourite at the moment, 6-1. Katmandu, Giolla-Deachar and Go Metric are 8-1. On 10-1, Sweet September, Doubly Royal and Blue Chrome, and it's 14-1 bar the 7.
So in the paddock here, quite crowded, although a lot of horses exiting now. This is going to be fast and furious, and the trouble about these big fences is that it will catch out people who can't see where they're going through other horses' faults. Now this is one of the best looking horses undoubtedly in the race, Uncle Bing, number 2, and he's top weight. He carries 11 stone 11, and he's probably earned this high weight from previous performances, although he hasn't actually won a race for 3 years now. But he has been second in the King George VI chase, second in the Massey Ferguson, and he's just back on form now. Only 2 runs under his belt so far, 4th and a 2nd, coming back to form. He chased home Nimrodi last time out and ridden by a very good Aintree jockey indeed, John Frankham, who's had 56 winners so far this season. Well, Uncle Bing, despite his top weight, must go well because he's got some class. Go Metric and Uncle Bing, 7-1 joint favourites, and that'll just tell you how open the race is when 7-1 is the favourite. There's the other joint favourite. This is Sweet September by Tar Kogan, this one owned by Betty Meehan, and Biddy Meehan rather, trained by Bob Turnell and ridden by Andy. Well, this fellow's been slightly disappointing. He was one of the nicest novices we've seen for a long time, second to some very good horses indeed, but this season his jumping hasn't been so good. See the horses coming out now. This looks like Screen. Giolla-Deachar 9-1 from 8-1. There's Screen going out, and following him there looked like Falls Road. Then we come to the blinkered Alpenstock, and then the grey mare. This is the bottom weight of the lot, Bienfait. Coming there in the cross belts, we've got Gone Out, very much on his toes and blinkered all round. You can see fore and aft blinkers there. Cabot, and there we see one of the Irish horses, Go Metric, and then the question mark of John Mulhern's colours, Tommy Carmody on board, but it'll take more than Carmody's genius to bring this one home first, I think. We can see going down now number 27, this is Gone Out, looked quite well in the paddock, but as I said, as he came out onto the paddock, blinkered all round, and horses, this is probably for protection because horses do trail their legs through these very big fences. Gone Out has got some pretty good form of late. He's been very busy without actually winning, and he's been running mostly over 2 miles, but I don't think this extra 3/4 mile will be against him today because he has got some form over that distance. Been second to Crofton Hall of late, and that's good enough. Nevada Prince 16s now from 14-1. That's a fellow that's got an each-way chance. He's one of the Irish Raiders. And there, the grey, number 30. This is Bienfait, ridden by Richard Floyd, who's having his first ride over these fences today. And Richard could have had 3 mounts at Taunton, the safety of good old Somerset Taunton, but decided to come up here to Liverpool and try these fences out. Well, the grey is owned and trained, or trained by Bert House, in fact, for Bridget House, and this one of the several blinkered runners today. Looking a little bit big, although this mare by Lutricle has had several runs of late, finishing third a couple of times. The form doesn't quite look good enough, but remember, some of these races in the past have produced some amazing results. The Chair is the 3rd race in this race, and that, of course, comes as a very big shock early on in the race. Usually in the National anyway, horses have gone a whole circuit before they get to it. And there is the Chair with some extra wings on them this year. You can see above the actual fence itself those little white planks just sort of funneling the horses in, because of course this has been the spot where we've had a lot of trouble in the past. But it is a very narrow fence, probably the narrowest part of the course, which gives the illusion that the fence is bigger than any others, but it's plenty big enough. So back down to the start, you can see that the horse is all looking at the first. A lot of these horses will never have seen fences like this before. So just 2 quite easy fences before they get to the Chair. I hope they don't go as fast. We have some betting for you and some results.
And it's interesting betting. Uncle Bing opened at 6-1 favourite. That's gone out 1 point to 7-1. And Go Metric, which opened at 8-1, has come back 1 point to 7-1. So we have joint favourites at 7-1, Uncle Bing and Go Metric. Katmandu stays on 8-1. Giolla-Deachar 9-1. Sweet September, Doubly Royal and Blue Chrome are on 10s. On 16-1, we have Nevada Prince, Andy Pandy, Ballycross, Cumbria and Screen. 33-1 bar these.
So, but you won't be able to see a spare space on Saturday. Katmandu, one of the favourites. Giolla-Deachar is 10-1 from 9-1 drifting all the time, but this is one that the Irish fancy themselves. They've a strong hand here, but of course survival is going to be the name of the game. 24, big field for this. Last year we had 23 runners. There is Katmandu nearest to us in the light colours, number 6 by Yellow God, this one, owned by John Craig, who's a big man in the hotel business, especially in Southport and around that area. Well, this horse had some terrific form early on. He likes to come rather late on the scene, doesn't like to be in front too soon, but having been second to Roller Coaster in the Tote Northern Chase, I was rather disappointed with him at the Cheltenham Festival only 10 days ago, but that was extremely heavy ground. So as the runners still circle, being regirthed, we have some betting for you.
And we have a new favourite, Go Metric, 7-1. Uncle Bing has gone out to 8-1. Remember, it opened at 6s. Katmandu, Giolla-Deachar, Sweet September and Doubly Royal, 10-1. Blue Chrome is now 12-1. On 16-1, Nevada Prince, Andy Pandy, Cumbria and Screen. Ballycross is 20-1 now from 16s, 33-1 bar.
And nearest to us, 5, the new favourite. This is Go Metric by Kalkis out of Vulgo. This one ridden by Jerry Newman. He came into the paddock with a terrific smile on his face. I don't know whether that was confident or whether someone had told him a joke, but he's a winner of 3 of his last 4 starts, this fellow, including at Navan earlier this month. He had Andy Pandy a long way behind him that day, and one of the national fancies, Drum Roan, was 3rd to this fellow, so if he wins today, Go Metric, you can start having your pounds on Drum Roan for Saturday at 33-1. Go Metric, a decent horse, but this ground, of course, not as heavy as he's been in of late. And there in the middle with the yellow sleeves, that's Never Rock. Never Rock, who's twice been round here before. He's trained by John Webber now, but in fact he's been with 3 trainers. Fulk Warwin had him, then his owner Geoffrey Barley, and now he's gone to John Webber. Anthony Webber rides this fellow, and he was a terrific novice. He won 5 novice chases and was second to Lanzarote before he unfortunately was killed, but has slightly gone a bit backwards since then. But he's been twice round here in the National. There's no reason why he shouldn't go round again. Go Metric 7-1, Uncle Bing 8-1. Time to join Peter O'Sullivan.
And they're running and coming to the first of the 18 fences in the Topham with Ballycross, one of the early leaders. Flitgrove well up there, so is Cumbria. On the far side as we look at them, Uncle Bing is well up there also, and Sweet September as they come down to the first of the 18 fences now. And Ballycross over in the lead, and there a faller was gone out has gone at the first. Gone out a faller at the first. They're coming down to the second now. Ballycross from Clearello and Flitgrove. Bienfait the Grey well up there with Monty Python, and it was Ballycross who landed in the lead there, and they're all safely over the second, and now coming to the chair. The fence that created such havoc in the National last year, and it's Uncle Bing over on the far side with Sweet September, Monty Python and Clearello. Then comes Ballycross, Never Rock and Flitgrove just in behind them, and then Bienfait at the chair now. Clearello, Uncle Bing and Sweet September land together from Ballycross, and Never Rock has gone there. Never Rock a faller, and Go Metric has been brought down, and there's another faller there too. Blue Chrome has gone as well. They're coming to the water with Ballycross landing in the lead on the near side from Uncle Bing and Sweet September. Then comes Clearello and Monty Python. Then on the inside is Taro, then Flitgrove and Katmandu and Bienfait. On the outside is Screen. Then comes Lucy Parker and Giolla-Deachar. Behind Giolla-Deachar is Alpenstock, and then Doubly Royal. Then on the outside is Cumbria. Behind Cumbria is Falls Road, and then behind Falls Road is Andy Pandy. Nevada Prince comes next, and as they cross the Melling Road, it's Uncle Bing on the near side, Ballycross on the outer, Sweet September in between the two, Clearello right up with them, Flitgrove also just in behind the leaders, and we join him in the country with John Hanmer.
And Uncle Bing on the inside, disputing the lead with Ballycross, Sweet September, Clearello, Flitgrove on the outside, Monty Python's right up with them too as they jump the next, and Ballycross touchdown just in the lead from Clearello. Then On the inside, Sweet September, Uncle Bing still well there as they jump the next. And Sweet September disputing the lead with Barry Cross and Uncle Bing. Then Clearello and Bienfait and Katmandu. Then comes Taro and Giolla-Deachar as they jump the next ditch, and Sweet September and Barry Cross took it absolutely together. Bienfait has gone there. That's the only faller at these three fences, but as they go to the next, it's Uncle Bing disputing the lead with Sweet September and Barry Cross, and let's join Julian Wilson.
Sweet September, Barry Cross on the outside, Uncle Bing on the inside. Taro made a bad mistake there, but recovered from it as they race down towards the one before Beechers. Andy Turnell and Sweet September in the centre. John Frankham taking the shortest way as usual with Uncle Bing on the inside. They're the two leaders over it with Barry Cross on the outside, and Clearella's a faller there. Clearella's a faller, but all the others are over that one as they race down towards Beechers. Uncle Bing with Sweet September and Barry Cross, and a gap back to Monty Python and Lucy Parker. Then on the inside is Doubly Royal as they come to Beechers. And over it, Uncle Bing, Sweet September and Barry Cross all over. Monty Python was a faller there, but the rest of the field over Beechers and running down towards the 23rd in the National. Sweet September and Uncle Bing still disputing it from Barry Cross and Doubly Royal and Lucy Parker. Then Giolla-Deachar. Behind those is Katmandu. Then Screen behind that with Nevada Prince. Then Super Gazepta. Then Alpenstock and Flitgrove as the leaders run down to the canal turn, with Sweet September on the inside now and Uncle Bing on the outside. As they jump it together, Uncle Bing's the better jumper. Barry Cross jumps up well in third place. Giolla-Deachar also a good jump up in the outside with Lucy Parker and Doubly Roll. Then a gap back to Katmandu and Screen as they come to Valentine's-Brook. Uncle Bing over it from Giolla-Deachar in second. Doubly Roll third. Barry Cross is fourth. Then behind that, Sweet September and Lucy Parker, then Katmandu and Screen, then Nevada Prince as we rejoin John Hanmer.
And Uncle Bing in the lead from Giolla-Deachar, then Barry Cross on the outside, Doubly Royal on the inner, then Sweet September, Lucy Parker, Screen, and Nevada Prince and Katmandu and Flitgrove and Super Gazepta. But coming to the last ditch, the fourth from home, it's Uncle Bing going well in the lead from Giolla-Deachar, then Doubly Royal is in third place, jumped into second. Then comes Barry Cross, Sweet September, Nevada Prince, Screen, Lucy Parker, Katmandu, Flitgrove and Super Gazepta and Alpenstock. And as they come to the third last, it's Uncle Bing, chased now by Doubly Royal. Doubly Royal took it second. In third place is Giolla-Deachar, then Barry Cross, Sweet September, Nevada Prince, Screen, Lucy Parker and Katmandu, and those are clear. But as they go across the Milling Road and onto the racecourse, it's Uncle Bing, chased by Doubly Royal, Barry Cross and Giolla-Deachar, and over to Peter O'Sullivan.
Uncle Bing with a two-leg advantage over Doubly Royal. In behind Doubly Royal comes Barry Cross, and then Giolla-Deachar. Behind Giolla-Deachar is Sweet September, and then comes Nevada Prince, and then Screen. Behind Screen is Lucy Parker, and then Katmandu, and you can count the rest out of it as they run down to the second last fence in the Topham with the top weight. Uncle Bing in the lead from Doubly Royal, then comes Barry Cross and Giolla-Deachar for Ireland in hot pursuit as they come down to the second last fence now in the Topham. It's Uncle Bing from Doubly Royal, Barry Cross and Giolla-Deachar, and these are clear of Sweet September at the second last now. Uncle Bing lands in the lead on the inside from Doubly Royal second. A mistake there by Barry Cross. They're coming down to the final fence now, and it's John Frankham who's made just about all the running so far on the top weight, and Uncle Bing in the lead from Doubly Royal. Then comes Barry Cross and Giolla-Deachar under pressure at the final fence, and Uncle Bing lands in the lead from Doubly Royal. There's not much between the two. Then Giolla-Deachar. Behind Giolla-Deachar is Barry Cross, and then Sweet September racing towards the elbow, and it's Uncle Bing from Doubly Royal, then Giolla-Deachar. Racing into the final 400 yards now, and it's Uncle Bing being pressed by Doubly Royal. Then comes Barry Cross, Giolla-Deachar and Sweet September. A furlong to run now, and it's still Uncle Bing being pressed by Doubly Royal. Doubly Royal coming there very strongly on the stand side now. 200 yards to run. Uncle Bing from Doubly Royal. Uncle Bing is holding Doubly Royal. The top weight is going to win it at the line. Uncle Bing and John Frankham win the Topham Trophy. Doubly Royal is second and Barry Cross is third. It's close for fourth between Giolla-Deachar and Sweet September. And then came Alpenstock and Andy Pandy. Behind Andy Pandy was Katmandu, and then Nevada Prince. Behind Nevada Prince is Screen. Behind Screen is Super Gazepta, and then Lucy Parker, and behind them Cabot. Behind Cabot is Flitgrove, and Cumbria is the last to finish. And so the result of the Topham Trophy is first number 2 Uncle Bing, owned by Mrs. John Malmay White, trained by Captain Richard Head and written by John Frankham. Second was number 16 Doubly Royal, owned by Mr. Melvin A. Nella, trained by David Gandolfo and written by Paul Barton. And third was number 14, Barry Cross, owned by Mr. T.H. Moore, trained by Bunny Cox and written by Tommy McGibbon. And very close for fourth between Giolla-Deachar and Sweet September. But no doubt about the 1, 2, 3, and here's how the top weight won it so gallantly. Uncle Bing, as we have border incidents, 6 from home in the Gold Cup. The winner, Uncle Bing, 17-2. And John Frankham, who rides rough and tumble in the National, weighing in after saving every inch of ground imaginable on this top weight, carried 11 stone 11, having only his 3rd outing of the season, and beat the 2nd biggest post-war field. 4 lengths and 6 lengths, the official margin. Uncle Bing by Romanier, out of a mare by No Orchids. Didn't win a race last season, had only 3 runs last season, and this only his 3rd run of this season. Colours, of course, which revive memories of that great Corinthian, Lord Mildmay, who came so close to winning 2 nationals, once on Cromwell when his back gave out, and once on Davy Jones when he was carried out at the last. His reins broke and he missed the final fence. Conceding 1 stone 10, no less, to the runner-up, Doubly Royal. A really cracking performance.